Alright guys, so recently I was able to acquire the Mage Tower Demonology skin, and I'm going to make a video going over some tips and the talents and things like that I used to beat it. First off, I used Demonic Calling, Improved Dreadstalkers, Demonic Circle, Mortal Coil is definitely an option here, and Pending Doom could also probably be an option. I used Hand of Doom. You could probably get away with using Soul Harvest or Power Trip. Soul Harvest if you're having difficulties getting the shield down. Demon Skin is really the only option here. Burning Rush would put your health way too low, so you're never able to take a single hit from any of the Axe Thrower. Grimoire Supremacy is also really the only option here. It's going to be very difficult to play with Service and impossible to play with Synergy. Then I use Summon Dark Glare just because he's ideal here. His damage is nearly tripled because they all share a health pool, and he hits all three of them. Demon Bolt could be viable here. Soul Conduit could also probably be viable here. For gear, I use Pride As and Awakener's Loyalty. Pride As, no legendary is required, but Pride As just makes it easier to take maybe one hit from the Axe Thrower, since at a maybe lower item level, he's definitely a one-shot. This is a pretty difficult challenge. It took me somewhere around 21 or 22 tries, but as you can see, you're going to want to put your Demonic Circle right there in the center. And then I put my Demonic Gateway from one side to the other in case Sigryn got feared to the other side. I could run over and fear her because her channel is definitely pretty close to one shot. You can really only take one or two hits with that, and that's with Pride As. Yes, I put it from the top to the bottom because you can move horizontally pretty easy, and here vertical is a much bigger thing. Make sure to pre-pop, make sure you have flask and food. But as you can see, I open up on Sigryn first. I forgot to use drums, however you can use drums right here if you want to. But then I start going on the Axe Thrower because he's just standing there, and I want to see exactly when he's about to cast Rampage. You're going to want to make sure everything is doomed before he starts casting his Berserker's Rage. That way you can cast your Dark Glare, you can empower it, and then you can start running. Because even with my item level with Pride As and Demon Skin, I could only take about one hit from this guy, and that's it. He hits very, very hard. So don't get hit. As you can see, runes appear on the floor. Always run over the smaller one first. That's why your Demonic Circle is put in the middle there, because you want to try to keep Jarl, the Axe Thrower, out of the middle so that it's easier to get to the runes and the orbs. As you can see, Sigryn gets feared. I let a rune go off. You can just drain life your way back up to full from a rune. Then I go up here and I stack on him. That way Jarl will come to me first. That way I can run around the edges and just try to keep him out of the middle. That was a big problem I was having, was keeping him out of the middle. Then I start going back on him. I decide to go ahead and slow him there, even though he hadn't cast his Berserker Rage. And then here comes the shield. To start off the fight, the shield comes in relatively slowly. However, later in the fight, it comes in very rapidly. So rapidly that your interrupt barely has enough time to get off cooldown. Valkyr are going to spawn. You're going to want to move in between them. That way you don't get hit. It hits very hard. You can survive one hit of it. It hits for somewhere around 2.5 million. But obviously you just don't want to be taking any excessive damage. Then he's going to be casting Blade Storm. You want to run out of Blade Storm. And then you're usually going to get one of her channels right there. Obviously just fear. As you can see, I'm low on health. But I use one of my soul stones, or run over one of the orbs rather. Now feared for her does not break on damage, so you can afford to put a Doom and a Dark Glare on her. But always make sure to fear her immediately after. She does have diminishing returns, so you can't just keep her in a fear the whole time. I accidentally missed that rune. Go back and get it. You do have more time than you think to get the runes, but still you want to try and hustle to get them. Then almost immediately after, there's going to be a bubble that you have to break. Break this bubble, use your Doom Guard to interrupt it. It's not really a super hard bubble to break. It always save your Thalkiels for it. I have Wakener's Loyalty, so Thalkiels hits much harder. I could have done a better job getting more demons out and then using it, but it was kind of like just a heat of the moment there. As you can see, he cast Berserker Rage, and I'm going to get hit by one of them right here, and you're kind of going to get to see how hard it hurts, or how bad it hurts. I have Pride Ass and Demon Skin up for that one, and it hurt pretty bad. Going to have to run over all of these again. Ran over a Health Orb there, then ran over the last one. More runes again. There are a lot of runes that spawn during this phase of the fight. And from my experience, it seems like certain things spawn or happen more often at certain parts of the fight. Like during the middle parts of the fight, runes happen more often. And during the last part of the fight, the bubble happens more often that you have to break. During the first part of the fight, nothing crazy is really happening because you're just getting used to the fight, apparently. As you can see, I'm taking hits from Sigryn right here, and that's not good. You don't want to do that. I was able to survive it somehow. I used my Health Stone right there. And I'm going to probably have to drain life coming out of this. I'm also low on mana. Don't use Life Tap unless there's an orb or you're really, really high on health. Because, once again, you just don't want to be taking excessive damage here for any reason that could potentially cause you to die. Then, as you see, I get hit right there by one. I'm really, really low on health at this point. I'm really thinking this is going to be a wipe. But I'm trying to break this bubble and survive at the same time. Always got to move for the Valkyrie. I managed to get his shield down somehow. I don't know how, but I do. Then, obviously keep Doom on them as much as you can. That way, when you summon your Dark Glare, it's going to hit all of them. If you're having difficulties getting past the bubble, I would use maybe Soul Harvest, especially like in the last phase or something, because of how often the bubble comes out in the last phase. As you can see, I drained life to get some of my health back. This is not a DPS requirement like some of the other ones, but this is more of just a survive and do mechanics. The only time you ever need to really worry about damage is getting the bubble down, which is not extremely hard to do if you are reasonably high item level. As you can see, he goes back into his bubble. I used Thalkiels to get past the bubble. I probably should have saved it for a later bubble that would have been harder to get through since it's up so often in the last phase. Interrupt. Then, as you can see, throughout this whole last phase, I just tunneled the Rune Seer because he just stands there. I don't have to move or worry about him going out of range. As you can see, there's another one, and my interrupt isn't even off cooldown yet. So during this last phase, it comes out a lot. So yeah, this would be maybe where you want to use Soul Harvest, because this is difficult to get through. I even found some of these pretty stressful to get through because of just how often they appear. So Soul Harvest could definitely be viable if you're having difficulties getting through the shield. However, I don't think it's extremely difficult, and I didn't find a need to use it. As you can see, my interrupt isn't off cooldown yet, cutting it really, really closely. Got the interrupt off. You can take about one hit, but it's going to drop you really, really, really low on health if you take a hit from that cast. So obviously don't do it. Then cooldown, still on cooldown, obviously. Here comes another one. But as you can see, there's no more Berserker Rage, there's no more Sigryn channel, there's nothing like that. The only thing happening during this phase is the bubble and the Valkyr. Like I said, this is a fairly difficult fight. This is one that you're just going to have to keep pounding away and get the whole idea of the fight down, because it is a difficult fight. Like I said, it took me around 20, 21, or 22 tries to get it. I was getting really frustrated the first day, but as you can see, but I came back the second day and I ended up finally getting it. Now, once you kill Jarl, he no longer becomes a thing. He just leaves the fight. However, this really doesn't matter at this point because you no longer cast anything. He just melees you. So obviously, that's not really that important. But just keep trying at this one. That's all I can give you, is you're just gonna have to keep trying at this one. It's kind of like progression rating. You just gotta keep trying, get the bosses lower, see what's up next, get down the dance. As you can see, I'm really excited when I finally get it. But I hope this guide helps you guys some. I hope you enjoyed the video, and good luck in getting your artifact appearance.